gozaimasu, and welcome here to what hopefully is going to be a Naruse film a day, a Mikio-thon, in which I'm going to offer my thoughts, my reviews, my analyses of every Naruse film that I can get my greedy little hands on, which in one way or another is quite considerable now. This is timed to coincide with the significant retrospective currently underway in, I think, New York, but which will probably find its way to other shores very soon. A retrospective entitled "The World Betrays Us." And I think it's significant in allowing a diverse range, or a more diverse range, of Naruse films to be seen by the general public than had previously been the case. It's not the first Naruse retrospective. There have been others in various parts of the world before, but I think it is possibly the most comprehensive. So I am going to share my thoughts, my feelings, my excitement about Naruse, and communicate some of my passion for this director. I don't want to preempt anything of what I will go into in the individual reviews that I will offer on a daily basis. Suffice to say here that I think we've gone past the time when Naruse can be considered a great undiscovered talent. There was a time when he was considered by some as the fourth great master of classical or golden age Japanese cinema of the immediate post-World War II world, particularly throughout the 1950s. I think there have been enough Blu-ray and DVD releases, as well as other theatrical screenings and the aforementioned retrospectives, that more than enough people have seen at least a handful of Naruse's 1950s films, which are generally accepted to form the richest period of his career and the pinnacle of his art. It wasn't that long ago that he was still being touted as ripe for discovery. Not that many more than 20 years ago, the noted biographer and critic David Thompson wrote in his, I think, 2004 edition of Biographical Dictionary of Film, that he had seen very little but heard a lot about Naruse, that people he knew and respected valued him very highly, but that he'd not been able to see much of Naruse's work. Well, I think any critic worth his or her salt will not be able to say that now. So in that sense, this retrospective is not introducing a director as much as expanding on what people already know and think of a director. But it's no less valuable for that. There are many, many, many Naruse films. He was very prolific. There were periods in his career when he was making 2-3 films a year. This says perhaps quite a bit about how he worked. The fact that he was given scripts by his studio, which for most of his career was Toho, and he would bring to the screen these scripts with ostensibly little input from himself. But nonetheless, this, I don't think, should count against any sense of artistry on his part, although Naruse himself, like Ozu, his friend and colleague at the beginning of their careers at Shochiku, saw himself as more of a craftsman or an artisan. But I think this particular reason is one of the reasons why the concept, both in criticism, in theory, and in practice, of authorship, the auteur in Japan, is actually quite a significant and individual case. I think there is an argument to be made that there is a distinctive Japanese concept or construct of authorship, and I don't think this has been explored. It's something I intend to do in the near future, and I think Naruse is as good as any director in exploring this, and I will touch on some of the key points of this day to day, my individual reviews, as well as highlighting key themes, key narrative strategies, aspects of Naruse's distinctive but transparent, largely, style, certainly far more transparent and illusionist, invisible, than Kurosawa's, Mizoguchi's or Ozu's. So look out for those starting from tomorrow. I'll begin with what is perhaps Naruse's most acclaimed and visible film, Floating Clouds, and as I said, we'll offer a film a day in no particular order, not in order of release or of preference. I'll just mix and match, and we'll see what we come out at the other end with. So until then, I will bid you adieu, bid you good day. Comment below your thoughts on Naruse, any films that you have seen or would like to see, anything you maybe would like me to cover. Let's make this into a communal dive into the melancholic, the brooding, the melodramatic, the stylish world of this master of Japanese cinema.